What is the science of consuming porn? What goes behind it? Why do people get addicted to it? Why can't people seem to get off it once they're hooked on it? Why do we even consume porn in the first place if we know that we never feel good after we've ejaculated? We know it's not good for us in the long run. So why do we still do it? What's the whole science behind it? So I'm not an expert on this. I have done my fair amount of research on this topic and the science behind it. So a couple things I can say about it. If you're more interested in like how this actually works and how you get addicted and stuff. One reason we can get addicted to porn, I don't think people really get addicted to porn. They get addicted to the habit of doing porn. Like for instance, the other day I was about to take a shower, yeah? And not the other day, this was like a year ago. But I still remember it very vividly and I use it as an example to this day. That I was about to take a shower, and back then I would wank at least 3 times a day. No, I'm joking. Probably I would wank at least once a day, and then a lot of times I would do it twice a day. Maybe sometimes 3 times, but that was rare. So I did it a lot. I did it in the morning, and then sometimes I would do it at night, right before I'm taking a shower. And literally, I was about to take a shower, I was listening to music, so I turned on the water, I was getting the water ready, trying to get it warm, and I took off my earbuds, and without thinking about it, I grabbed my phone and started getting porn up. I was ready to ejaculate. I was ready to masturbate. And it was weird. For a second, I just kind of stopped and I was like, wait a minute. Why am I doing this? I had no desire to fap right then and there. But I've been so conditioned to, okay, right before I take a shower, gotta fap. Gotta have a wank. Get on porn. I was so conditioned to the habit of doing it that I do it like blindly, like a zombie, just picking up my phone, getting on porn. So I think a lot of people are addicted to the habit of it. And they've been doing it for so long that they just do it a lot. And it's a problem you can fix easily, and I have videos on that. Actually, probably my most recent video is how to easily quit porn. So if you're interested in quitting porn, and a lot of people I know they struggle with it, but to take an easy route, kind of, go watch my last video on how to easily quit porn. But besides that, why do people get addicted to the habit of porn? And one thing that happens and that is detrimental to people, especially young men, when they get addicted to porn or the habit of porn, is that when you're pleasuring yourself constantly and at an unnatural rate, back in the olden days they didn't have phones to wank off to all the time. So when you pleasure yourself too much, your release of dopamine, your dopamine receptors, which is the receptors to feel and like get that good feeling from the dopamine, that reward feeling, they stop working if you're overloaded with pleasure. So it's like any machine. Think of it like any machine that if you overload it with stuff, information or electricity or whatever, then it's gonna shut down and stop working. Same thing happens with our dopamine receptors. If we keep constantly taking in dopamine, and this isn't just with porn, it's with any dopamine release. So this means sex, this means getting on TikTok, social media, video games, junk food. Anytime you release dopamine, the dopamine receptors are at hand. And if you are releasing dopamine at a too fast of a rate, then you're going to shut down the dopamine receptors. They're not going to work anymore. So you're going to do these things like you're going to watch porn, you're going to play video games, and you're not even going to get the reward feeling of it because your dopamine receptors are fried because they're overworked. So that's one reason. If you've been doing porn and masturbating for a long time, you realize that after a while, it doesn't have that same feeling. Like you still feel the sensation obviously in your body and your dick, but it's not the same. And it's because your dopamine receptors have stopped working. And that's in your brain, it's neurological. And so that's one scientific thing I know about porn and the effects. And another thing that I thought of, this isn't really scientific, it's something I came up with on my own, just conclusively and logically. Why do men desire porn more than women? Because more men watch porn. So why is it men that watch porn more than women? One, we have a higher sex drive. I think I read somewhere that 2/3 of our brain is like sex driven. I don't know if that's true, or it was like our sex drive, or the part in our brain that controls like sex and stuff is 2 times as much as a woman. So we think and desire sex more than women. It's just natural. So we naturally would like to release that sexual desire more. And so for guys, especially nowadays, why would they go out in the real world and talk to a woman, which is kind of scary for a lot of guys, right? You don't know how to talk to women. And to get to know them and put in the effort and put in the game and to build your business so you can make money and you have money and to get the nice car and to get the nice body by going to the gym every day. Why would a guy do that to get the girl when he could just not do any of those, stay in his bed all day, get on his phone, go to Pornhub, and get to watch a beautiful woman and pleasure himself that way? It's an easier route to release that sexual desire, to release our seed. And so that's why a lot of guys are addicted to it and get on it. Now, it's sad that a lot of guys are that weak and that they succumb to that. You should be a guy who wants to actually go out in the real world and find a woman that way and pleasure yourself that way. But that's the reason, or that's just something I thought of, that's why men watch porn more than women. We have higher sex drive, and why we actually watch porn instead of going out in the real world and fucking real women is because it's easier. And intrinsically, a lot of people are lazy, and so that's why guys would go to porn. And that's the end of the video, I guess. Those are just two scientific ideas on like explaining porn. One of them very scientific, one was just me and my own thoughts, really. But let me know if you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments.